Hello and welcome back to another episode of County Perspective, the show that focuses on Frederick County government, local programs and events, and the community that you live in. I'm your host, Brandon Rosa, and thank you for joining us. Now, there has been lots of things happening around the county recently, so let's start things off with some recent news from Winchester Hall. Community members gathered at Frederick Community College for the ribbon cutting of the newly renovated Jefferson Hall. The new renovations to Jefferson Hall created an open concept that utilizes natural lighting and incorporates new state-of-the-art technology. Students will now be able to enroll, register for classes, access counseling and career advising, and take care of billing all under the same roof. Several years ago, FCC made a goal to revitalize and repurpose existing campus buildings. All of the strategies to remodeling Jefferson Hall came from the leadership of President Libby Burmaster and the Board of Trustees. County Executive Gardner included funding for the renovations in the current budget, which allowed for the renovation of Jefferson Hall to become a reality. The renovations were funded entirely from local county taxpayers. Revitalizing existing space saves taxpayers money by avoiding construction costs for new buildings. County Executive Jan Gardner stated, "FCC is a wonderful resource for our community, and we are proud of the excellent educational opportunities available to students here each and every day." Rick Harcum is officially the new Chief Administrative Officer for Frederick County government. Executive Gardner appointed Harcum on Wednesday, March 19th. Harcum has been serving as the acting Chief Administrative Officer since February 1st, 2019. Prior to serving as acting Chief Administrative Officer, Harcum was the Budget Director for Frederick County government. Executive Gardner said Rick brings a wealth of financial knowledge and managerial expertise to this important position. She added his experience with the county budget is particularly beneficial. Before Harcum joined Frederick County government, he served as Director of Performance Management and Budget Director at the Washington Metropolitan Area Transit Authority for 25 years. Congratulations, Rick Harcum. County Executive Jan Gardner invited community members to Winchester Hall to join her during two Frederick at its Best proclamation ceremonies on Tuesday, March 19th. The first proclamation ceremony was on National Nutrition Month. Executive Gardner proclaimed March as National Nutrition Month in Frederick County. National Nutrition Month was created by the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics to inform the public about healthy food choices and living a physically active lifestyle. A healthful meal should consist of lean protein, whole grains, and fruits and vegetables. Adults should balance nutritious meals with 150 minutes to 300 minutes of moderately intensive aerobic physical activity per week. For more health tips, visit eatright.org or livewellfrederick.org. The second proclamation ceremony was on National Public Health Week. Executive Gardner proclaimed April 1st to April 7th as National Public Health Week in Frederick County. Executive Gardner shared the importance of receiving colorectal cancer screenings, as well as breast cancer and cervical cancer screenings. Frederick County was rated third best in the state for overall health outcomes. Executive Gardner was joined by medical professionals, as well as members from WIC and Asian American Center of Frederick. On the first Thursday of every month, Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center will be hosting a pet food bank for senior pet owners called Minnie's Pet Food Bank. Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center has been collecting pet food for food banks for years, but this is the first year of Minnie's Pet Food Bank that is geared towards senior citizens in Frederick County. Director Linda Shea stated, "We know the value of pets and understand the financial challenge that purchasing pet food can create for our seniors. The food bank will be from noon until 4 p.m. County residents who are 55 years and older are eligible to participate. Just bring your driver's license." Minnie's Food Bank has a variety of dog and cat food. Shelter staff will be available to assist participants. Minnie's is named in memory of an English bulldog that was the subject of an animal cruelty investigation that took place in 2015. If you would like more information, call the shelter at 301-600-1546. The Frederick County Council was sworn into office on December 3rd, and it has been several months since they all took their oath into office. Now in that time, the council's been busy tending to county-related issues and looks forward to many upcoming items on their agenda. We got a chance to sit down with both the president and vice president of the council. Let's hear from them on what the council has and is working on.
So the council has been in office for about three and a half months now. They've been in office long enough, we're starting to get our stride and get things under control and figure out what kind of legislation people want to push and how to go about pushing that, because some of our members have never actually done legislation before. So it's a learning process, but I think we're getting up to speed.
I've enjoyed the first 90 days. It's gone by pretty quick. I wouldn't have thought we've had 3 months in running this council and being part of the leadership of this council, but it's going very well.
So far, we have passed a couple of changes as far as agricultural preservation program. We've accepted some applications for that. Introduced a couple of pieces of legislation. We have Councilmember McKay introduced a piece of DRRA legislation.
We're looking at impact fees. We're looking at the APFO, changing possibly the mitigation fees. We had a pretty contentious replacement to the school board, the Monocacy Scenic River Plan. That really is kind of a hot potato.
We decided that we were not going to try and amend the 2018 plan as was, passed by the River Board. There were just too many revisions and too many things that we would have to go back and try and fix. We are working on Livable Frederick and what we need, what our responsibilities and our roles are going to be on that.
Legislation with the firefighters and fire rescue that's coming up. That's going to be a big one for the council to get that literature and that legislation correct. And so it benefits and is fair for all.
We are working on, individual members are working on their own legislation. I personally am pulling together my work group for solar to go back and revisit that ordinance. It was written a little too restrictive, and we need to loosen it up a little bit.
There's a lot of things that we're going to be not only dealing with and have dealt with, but that are going to come down the pike, and there's not one thing that we do that's the most important than adopting and passing the budget.
It has to be done by the end of May 31st. Otherwise, the county executive's budget as presented goes into effect. We have never in 4 years in the past council let that go through unamended slightly.
You're always getting asked to look at stuff and sit down and talk to people about not only what they want but their concerns. And it's not only a concern for them, but it's a concern that they feel should be shared by all of the citizens of Frederick County.
So if people are interested in any legislation that we're working on, or you have ideas for legislation you would like to see us address, please feel free to email us at councilmembers@frederickcountymd.gov and give us your input. The council members are always looking to hear from their constituents.
Be sure to stick around. We have plenty more coming up on County Perspective. Welcome back to County Perspective. I'm your host, Brandon Rosa. Have you ever heard of the term human library? It's a relatively new concept in which human books share their stories in a safe, non-judgmental environment. This unique event will allow attendees an opportunity to interact with others who might have different life experiences. We had a chance to sit down with librarian Rebecca Reeves to learn more.
A human library is kind of like a regular library, but with people. Basically, it's a space where people can come and have a brief conversation with someone who is different than they are. So at a human library, we have people who volunteer to be human books, and those are people who have had unique experiences or who have had experiences where they've been made to feel like they're in some way different than the mainstream. So that can be someone who's experienced prejudice or discrimination, or just someone who's had a unique experience. And then readers come in and have conversations with those human books. And the idea is that through having those conversations, people can kind of get past their labels and prejudices and stereotypes and make more of a real connection with people. We had initially hoped to have a theme around immigration, which goes hand in hand with the Frederick Reed's selection of the Book of Unknown Americans. But the Human Library likes to keep it a little bit more broad. So we're hoping to recruit human books who can represent a range of different experiences and identities. We're interested in anyone who has a unique experience or perspective that they can offer. And we're thinking of both sort of, big types of prejudice and also small types of prejudice. So, of course, we all can think of large types of prejudice that people might experience. A lot of people are really interested in talking to someone who is a Muslim book or, a Latino immigrant book or a book from the LGBTQ community. But there are also lots of little types of subtle prejudice that we don't always think about. So like a single mom or someone who didn't attend college. Those people might have experiences where they feel a little bit on the outside and might make a really great book for someone to talk to. So anyone who's interested in being a human book can contact me, Rebecca Reeves. My email address is rreeves@frederickcountymd.gov, or they can call me here at the Urbana Library at 301-600-7000. The Human Library Organization, their goal is to move beyond judgments and stereotypes. I think the tagline that they use is unjudge someone. And so that's the goal that we have as well, is really to give people in Frederick County the opportunity to connect with people that they might not run across in daily life. We have an incredibly diverse, wonderful county, but a lot of times people sort of live within their own little, a lot of people use the word bubbles, and don't get the chance to really connect with people who have different life experiences than them. The age range that we're targeting it towards is teens through adults, but we certainly welcome families to come. We think it is an experience that's valuable for every age. For more information, visit fcpl.org/humanlibrary.
Before we find out about some of the county's local events and programs, let's head on over to the Animal Control Center for this episode's featured pet.
This American Bulldog mix was adopted from FCAC as a puppy. Now, 5 years later, her owners were unable to keep her and brought her back to us so we could find her another loving home. Angel is currently on a diet and exercise plan to help her get down to a healthy weight. She's already lost 20 pounds. All she needs now is a workout buddy and a best friend. Visit Angel at Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center, 1832 Rosemont Avenue.
Now is definitely a good time to look at some of the programs, events, and promotions that some of the Frederick County departments are offering. Let's take a look at a few of them. To find more events and programs, or for more information, log on to the county's webpage, frederickcountymd.gov. Now at the end of our show, we like to mention a few recent events, along with things our viewers should keep an eye out for in the upcoming weeks. The Frederick County Sheriff's Office will be holding the 27th Annual Sheriff's Awards Ceremony on April 11th, sponsored by the Citizens Advisory Committee and the Frederick County Sheriff's Office. The ceremony will be held at the Lewistown Volunteer Fire Department. Doors will open at 5:30 p.m. for light refreshments, and the ceremony will begin at 6 p.m. Deputies that were nominated for the ceremony will be receiving awards such as Special Appreciation Award, Outstanding Performance Award, Life Saving Award, and many more. If you would like more information about the Sheriff's Awards Ceremony, call the Sheriff's Office at 301-600-1046. Winchester Hall invites community members to the fiscal year 2020 budget presentation on April 15th at 11 a.m. in the first floor hearing room. County Executive Jan Gardner will be announcing the fiscal year 2020 budget during the public information briefing. The budget presentation will be airing live on FCG-TV Channel 19 and HD Channel 1085. If you'd like to find out more information about the fiscal year 2020 budget, visit frederickcountymd.gov/budget. That's it for this episode of County Perspective, but don't forget to follow Frederick County on social media in order to keep up to date on important news and events. We'll see you next time for a fresh look from a county perspective.